it up, spark it up. I am here with Julie. She's recording me, which is this is awesome. Okay, you guys, like, I'm not looking at my phone. I can have like papers, like research shit and everything. I can actually use my phone to help research instead of for recording. This is awesome. Very awesome, very awesome. Well, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa. If you don't celebrate any holidays, happy waking up to another day. I mean, hell, gotta celebrate something. As you guys know, spark it up, of course, and then you guys, I poured up Milos sweet tea, and somebody told me it was disgusting and it tasted like water.
What?
I was like, that hurt, but I like it. So, you know, it was somebody in my house, so guess what? That means it's just for me and nobody else is gonna drink it. So today, I know we're still kind of doing like the whole health month, and I know I'm gonna do through December and January. We still have interviews to do. We were gonna do one today, but that kind of got sidetracked, but we're gonna get back on track. We have interviews. I still want to do Gretta, Alexis, and my cousin. So do not worry. They all have some really good stories to tell us. Let's see. So today though, I want to talk about autism, since we're kind of doing like health things. So as you guys know, my son was diagnosed with autism, and actually the date of his evaluation was 4/19/2016. That was a really rough day. That was a tough day. That was a tough day, but I would have never gotten him tested. So let me go back. This is kind of what happened and how we came to get Solomon diagnosed when he was almost 2. I had been staying home with him for about that time, around that time. I had only been working like part-time, but I had also noticed a lot of change in his behaviors. He really wasn't speaking. We're at that same age, my daughter was like, you know, she was all over and he wasn't. Instead, he would flip toy cars around, like over or on their side, and he would just spin the wheel over and over and over. I mean, like, it would like drive you crazy. So then he started kind of like hitting his head up against the window, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So a friend of mine said to me, Jessica, said, hey, I think you better get him tested. And I'm like, tested for what? And she said, autism. I'm like, why the hell would I do that? Like, why do you have autism? And she said, Shemaya, come on. And she had known that I had worked with adults and children with autism. And I knew in the back of my head, I knew he had it. But as any parent, you know, Julie, you know, when they say something about your kid that you don't want to believe, it's not easy, and you don't. So I was like, okay. I wasn't sure how to go about doing any of that. So I kind of start calling like downtown and like kind of asking some information, asking around, and no freaking body could direct me in the right direction. Nobody knew where to send me. I called Whippledale, Eastgate, you know, nobody knew. So finally, Solomon went, the daycare he was going to had changed owners, and I kind of really wasn't feeling the new owners, so I sent him to another one. When he got to that daycare, they said, oh, Solomon was either he had bit or was trying to bite another student. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And I really was like, he never had done that before. So what happened? You know what I mean? Like, did the kid take something from Solomon? Was it something in his, you know, surroundings? I wasn't sure. So then she was like, and we think that Solomon might have some disabilities. And so I was like, yeah, I have been told that. I've been trying to get a hold of people. So she hooked me up with one of the caseworkers from the adolescents behavior group. And as soon as I called them, they had me with the case manager. She came in. It was probably like the biggest like sigh of relief of my entire life. She came in, she gave me all the information. She told me how to like go about getting his Medicare, how to go about trying to get some money for him, how to, you know, she was like, I'm going to schedule you an appointment to get his diagnosis, because I was like, I need this done like ASAP. Like, this is bad. And she knew it was bad. Like, I was just, I was a whole disaster. Like, physically, emotionally, I had just had some surgery done, and now my kid is diagnosed with autism, and then I end up getting sick from my surgery. So it was a complete damn mess. But this lady, her name was Jane E. Holland. She is from Rainbow Babies and Children Hospital. She squeezed me into her schedule, came to Canton, and had some other cases already at the time, and was like, she could squeeze me in with Solomon. And that day she pretty much did his assessment and diagnosed him with autism. So now, let me see here. He's actually, to date, Solomon is, let me see. I did all that and then I can't even find it. Ain't that about a bitch? So Solomon did have food allergies. Those have kind of subsided as he's gotten older because now he's 6. He is still delayed in development. He has language delay. Solomon does not speak at all. He has sensory disorder. He has had his adenoids removed. His body mass index is 85% to less than 95% range for his age. And he has autism disorder with language impairment, and he has persistent disorder of maintaining sleep. That was a lot. That was a whole mouthful. So he has all that, and he's still like the most amazing kid in the entire world. I mean, okay, I might be biased because he's mine, but I'm just saying, if you have never met Solomon, you have to meet him. He's a character. He's pretty awesome. But today I just really wanted to talk and just kind of say, get some support. I know I've met a couple moms who I've given my number to, I've given resources to. If you think that something's not right with your child, it's okay to speak up. It's okay to get them help. And it's okay to be an advocate for your child. If you don't feel like something's not right, let me tell you, I went through 4 pediatricians at the same location before I came to find one that I love. And she's a nurse practitioner, and she, just adores Solomon. The other 4 could have cared less. They just wanted to, it was just, let's just get you in and get you out, not really listening to what I was saying. I had one male doctor that I loved. He ended up quitting and going somewhere else, but he's the one that helped me go to Dr.Good, who is, if you're looking for a fantastic nose, ear, and throat doctor, Dr.Good at Akron Children's. Oh my God, I love that man. If your kids ever need one, Akron Children's Hospital is always my number one. I love Akron Children's. Solomon has been rushed. Like, we have driven him to their emergency room. We have actually went to Altman and Mercy on several occasions where we were still waiting an hour. I've called Children's like, this is what's going on, and as soon as we pull in, they are taking him back and checking him out. I love Akron Children's. They've done all of his surgeries, and Solomon's had quite a few, especially with his ears. He does have tubes, and he's on his 2nd set, no tonsils, adenoids out, like a poor baby. And he eats and eats and eats and eats and eats. But you guys aren't alone. I know it's shocking. It's taken his dad probably the first 4 years of his life to accept the fact that Solomon may never do things normally, but Solomon does things the way that Solomon does things. And yeah, sometimes it drives us absolutely crazy when he is just banging and clanging and clicking and clicking and clicking and stimmering, but you get used to it after a while. I don't even hear it anymore. I could be dead asleep and Solomon be in his room playing, jumping. He does like, with his sensory disorder, he does like to do impact things. So he has a slide in his room. He will jump off the slide, and then you'll hear my whole house go boom, because he shakes the whole house. He likes to jump on his bed. He has a trampoline. Every toy that we buy him makes noise. It makes some kind of music, because he does love to do that. He'll hit the button over and over and over. He'll do a remix. Like, it'll be one toy, another toy, another toy, the other toy, and you'll be like, Solomon, please take that back upstairs. But also, don't be afraid. I know a lot of parents, like, for Solomon, because he does make a lot of noise, he does do a lot of stimmering, he does get excited very easily, and he'll run all over this house. Don't be afraid to still put your child in, like, a small timeout. And that just gives them a chance to just come down. Like you would a normal kid. If they were hyper, you'd be like, go sit down somewhere. You know, your kid, when they're autistic, you can't do the same thing, because Solomon will sit down, but he's still going to get back up in 2 minutes. You know, but I'm not going to spank him, because I know he's not going to stay there. But what I do is I will give him a timeout, especially on the weekends. I'll say, okay, Solomon, we're going to go to your room. I'll make sure he's been changed, because he's still not potty trained. And that is something that I'm going to try to work on. It's been a task. We've tried 8 times. So we keep saying, come on, Solomon, it's time. You know, we want to wear big boy pants. We want to wear big boy pants. And Solomon's like, wow, wow, wow. He could care less. He is not worried about being potty trained. I mean, I was thinking about trying to, you know, do food and potty train, but then I can't, because he eats so much. We would constantly be on the potty, like trying to get him on there. He eats so much food. And he does. He eats. I know my one friend told me kids with autism have, like, I don't know if it's a sensory, or I'm not even sure what it is, but an insatiable appetite. Like, he eats nonstop, but he only eats certain things. He'll only eat bologna, chicken nuggets, cheeseburgers with half the bun missing, because he's not going to eat both buns. I think it's too big, too mouth. I think it's too textury for him, like, to chew down for his sensory. And he'll eat anything ham, and my mom's like, no more pork, no more pork. And I'm like, okay, that's Solomon's whole entire meat source right there. Like, for real. Like, what do you want me to do? So, you know, I'm trying to do different alternative things, of course, like beef bologna, and I'm trying not to give the family, like my kids, really any pork, but yeah, we're still gonna probably eat pork. I'm pretty sure. I feel like Julie's gonna put like a freaking cow hopping or a pig hopping through here right now.
I could totally do that.
But I just wanted to let all you parents know. I know, like I said, I run into a ton of families that are that their children are just being diagnosed, and it's hard. I am not gonna lie to you guys. It's hard to wrap your head around. It's hard to accept, especially like for me, like since we're separated, you know, when you're dating, it's something that he has to explain to whoever he's dating, and I have to explain to whoever I'm dating that this isn't a normal 6-year-old, and he comes with all of those things that I mentioned, plus more, you know. And there's just times where I'm waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning because Solomon is up. There's times where Solomon has a crying spell. It could last, I've had one last for 2 days. 2 days straight, he cried. 2 days straight, he cried. And I'm crying, he's crying, the whole house is crying because we're tired. He's driving us crazy, but we know he can't help it. And then it hurts us because we don't know what's wrong, because he doesn't speak. We don't know if it's his head, his stomach. We give it a medicine, we take him to the emergency room. That's just, sometimes that was just whatever it is. He just needed to cry it out, and he did. And sometimes he does that. I know for Solomon, when he gets to be like that, when he's starting to have like little crying spells, we take him upstairs, we turn off the TV, we put him in his vest, we give him a snack, and we just kind of let him just moose on. He will rock. My son rocks really heavy because of the impact. He needs that. So we just let him rock. He'll get in his bed and he will cover himself up, and we let him rock. And sometimes you just need to give him that space. I know a lot of people that have kids with autism that don't know what to do. If you don't know what to do, or if you think your child is autistic, just get some help. Let the school know so that they can help you, so they can point you in the right direction of what to do next, where to go next. If you have any questions or concerns, you are always welcome to hit me up at the pouritup@gmail.com. You can comment below. You can hit me up on Facebook at, what is my name? Shemaya Ganesha Levon. I forget what the name was. That's the Spark It Up part. And you can hit up the group, the Part of Spark It Up page, or the group on Facebook, and I will get back to you. Like I said, I have helped a couple families like just get in the right direction. I know one mom, Solomon, does take speech therapy and OT, occupational therapy, and there was a lady there, she's like, I'm gonna lose my insurance, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I just was like, hold up, let's just start all over. And I gave her my number and I walked her through it, and now they're doing great. Like, so like I said, if you have any questions or concerns, please hit me up. Solomon is on medication. I know I've talked about this before. I was giving him some CBD oil and some gummies. I did stop doing that. I haven't done it for about 2 months. Not because anything's wrong. It worked fantastic. But because I didn't want to have to keep increasing his dose right now because he's only 6, I'd rather just I weaned him off of it. That way, when I'm ready, I can, when I feel like I need it, he can go back on it. But right now, he's doing great. He's calm. He's still a little hyper, but he's also a 6-year-old boy. So that's to be expected. He still does those normal 6-year-old boy things. He throws crap down the stairs. He wants to see if he can jump from his dresser to his bed. I mean, he does all those, sometimes he just does normal 6-year-old kid things. So I just felt like there was no need for me to continue, but I most definitely, if I have to, will start giving it to him again without hesitation, without thought. But like I said, since I know he's pretty stable now, the meds that he's taking seem to really be working. So I'm gonna let them kind of run their course because they're both low doses. Now, if they were high doses, I would definitely implement like the CBD oil because I don't want him to be on high doses of any medication right now. Like, not at 6, not at 7, not at 8, not never. Not never. I don't want to start a pattern of needing medication to cope with anything for him, especially when he's already has enough, as I told you, issues. So let me see. I think that's really all I have. And like I said, I just wanted to kind of do this healthcare check-in period. Let you guys know kind of like what's going on, which is really nothing. We're just enjoying these weeks before Christmas. And I did a whole little, which Julie's going to show you guys later, I did like a whole theme for Dr. Seuss because I love Dr. Seuss and he's pretty rad. And then next year, we do a different theme every year. And so next year is going to be space because Solomon loves spaceships. He loves space, he loves dinosaurs, but space is his biggest one. So we're going to have ourselves a space Christmas next year. But we love you guys. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video. And I want to thank Julie for coming over. Thank you, Julie. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.